All right, so we're on episode 2. I guess that means it's like really official. It's like really coming together.
Or we at least showed up twice.
Exactly.
The bare minimum.
I mean, I feel like the second part's always the hardest. Like when you start a fitness thing, the second day is always the hardest day.
And speaking of which, I have been doing, so there's like a 75 hard challenge, right? And you're supposed to like work out, read books, all this other shit. I'm doing the 75 semi-hard. And I am peeing so much. Like one of the goals is to drink 100 ounces of water. It's not even a gallon of water a day. I was like, that's nothing. I can do that. I have been peeing so much. And I'm very tired. The first week is kicking my ass. But we're day 7 of 75 in.
Nice.
Yeah.
The first week's done.
So here's a reminder to drink water because I actually need to drink some now.
Honestly, I've been so thirsty. I will do the same. But see, you've been talking about this 75 hard, and I've just been like, yeah, that's cool, da da da. But like, what does it fully entail? Like, what is it? It's 75 days of doing something. I get that much, but
it's supposed to be 75 days of pushing you mentally, physically. I don't know what other parts of you can really push that much. I guess emotionally, but not really. Like some people have meditation as a part of it. So
are you not into that part?
I'm meditating once a week. We're on the very last day, so I have to meditate today, which I could honestly use. But I'm working out every day, and then I have like off days. But those I have to do something active, like go walk, or I just did a line dancing class this past week. Just something active to make you sweat, and I was sweating like a whore. It was so hot, but I did so good. Then I'm reading because I'm in school, so like I'm not gonna make myself read a book if I'm reading textbooks and doing schoolwork. Then I am having to drink an assload of water and then stick to my like meal preps and stuff that I do. Like I can only eat out once a week, and then I have to. What was the last one? Oh, no drinking. That's why I wanted to forget it. I'm allowing myself to drink on St. Patrick's Day, and that's it, because that's going to come up during the 75 days. Other than that, like no drinking to get drunk, anything of that sort. I'm not really smoking either. I don't really have anything to smoke right now, so just trying to be sober, and it's rough. Literally, like halfway through the first week, I signed up for therapy, so that tells you how it's going.
Wow. And this is the semi-hard.
I know. This is the semi-hard. I can't handle the full hard.
Maybe I should try this. I mean, but honestly, I don't think I could fit. Like, if it's like, oh, you need to do this, I'm like, girl, I don't have time for that.
If only so you could know how I'm suffering, but also very proud of myself, yes.
But also, if we were both doing this and both doing that at the same time. But also, I don't drink that much as it is.
Yeah.
I only drink water.
Maybe you should drink more.
Maybe. But, like, I only drink water, really. Because after, like, cutting out milk, R.I.P. girl. But, like, after cutting out a lot of dairy and stuff, all I do is drink water, really. So I feel like a lot of the things I already do. I have my workouts.
No, my addictions are coming through. Like, I'm chugging bubbly waters left and fucking right.
Oh, I'm all the time craving a milkshake.
And I'm at the point now where, like, my caffeine drinks for the gym bring me joy. Like, it makes me happy just to taste something that's not just straight pure water.
I have been there. I'd be like, oh my gosh, I'm about to get my creatine water. I'm
so
excited.
Just gym girl things.
Also, speaking of which, me and Danny just decided to cut out the creatine, so I'm really sad about it.
And I will pray for you, but I will not suffer alongside of you. I need my caffeine. I need my creatine. Oh, my job just put Bang energy drinks back in the stock.
How is that not bad for you?
Like, it's horrible. Like, there's no way it's just 200 like little milligrams of caffeine, because my pre-workout that I do, like the one little scoop is 200, and I feel that I go crazy on Bang. And there was like some beef apparently between Bang and Monster energy drinks, and I guess like it's like this little like grocery store at our job. I'm sure that other people that work in like corporate America know about it, but it's like Q Avenue or some like it's like like a little bodega almost in your workplace with like a cooler and then like these baskets full of snacks, and you like scan them and pay for them with like your debit card and stuff like that. So it's like
Is it like the bodegas that we had at ECU? Like the ones
Kinda, yeah.
Okay.
Kind of like those. So, but it literally, there's just a camera that like constantly records you in the break room. There's nobody there, and they stock it every once in a while. And when they first came in like a year ago, they had Bang energy drink, and I was happy. It was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I was doing great. They took it away. And I think it was because there was some beef between Monster and Bang Energy Drink. I refused to do the research. I'm just going to say that there was.
Mm-hmm.
And they took it out, and then it just came back this week, and I've been on it.
Do you remember in high school when people drank Monster like it was their personality? Like they had like the people who had like the tabs of the Monster energy drinks on necklaces and the jackets and the hats. And I was like...
I will never forgive them for those ugly bucket hats.
Right.
Ever.
I was just like, guys, it's an energy drink. Calm
Exactly.
down.
That's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
that's good branding on them, though. Like, people were fully making it part of their personality.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Do you remember when people were talking about it being the devil's mark because it had, like, the 3
yes!
scratches?
Oh, my gosh. You know, it's demon scratches. Mm-hmm, oh, my gosh. I forgot all about that. I was like, I just don't need that much caffeine in my life. I don't even drink coffee.
You know what's crazy is I didn't even start caffeine until I started, like, corporate America. She'll drain you.
You didn't do any coffee in high school?
I mean, like I did college? Soda, but it really wasn't anything. No, I didn't do coffee at all.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, okay, I didn't start drinking coffee regularly until I got into corporate America. Because as you know, that place that we both worked at, you know, back in the day, they had the coffee machine that would do half coffee, half hot chocolate. Ew. Oh, I had about 3 of those a day.
Ew.
They were so good.
Chocolate and coffee does not belong. I know there's like a whole mocha thing, but it's disgusting.
But it was so good because it was like a coffee, and I can't take coffee straight black, so like I would mix it. It'd be like the half hot chocolate, half coffee. So good. Oh my gosh, all the time. That's how I made it through my corporate girly days.
And that's why you didn't make it, because you were making that nasty drink.
No, I left because they took that drink away.
We've had like 3 new coffee machines. All of them are.
That one when we were both working together, that coffee machine was everything though. It had like all those fancy options. It's like they had the Starbucks cups and all that stuff. It was so good. So good. So good.
Yeah. That's what you get for mentioning Starbucks.
But I don't know. I don't think I really have any updates this week. Literally, I've just been trying to survive. I'm like going through each day and taking it a day at a time, just nonstop working, then working on my YouTube video, and then also like honestly I've fallen behind in my YouTube video. Like I did not get my Sims video up this week. It's fine. Like nobody's pushing me or yelling at me. It's my own added pressure that I just feel the need to have so many projects going at once, but it's been a lot.
You're who Kim Kardashian talked about when she said no one wants to work these days.
Me?
Yeah.
No one wants to work? My problem is that I'm doing too much work.
Oh my God, I didn't even tell you.
The mic drop.
I need a minute to collect myself. So I signed up for therapy, right?
Yes.
I got stood up by my therapist.
Are you serious?
Yes! I signed up for it, and like it's through BetterHelp, which sponsor us. But I signed up through BetterHelp, and I was like, oh my God, like match with the therapist. I tried to schedule a call the next day. In my opinion, if you have calls available that day, then you should, like, I figured they'd be working. It was a Saturday, so it was fine. Straight up sat there looking stupid in the little session app for 30 whole minutes and got stood up by my therapist.
That is so
I'm like,
bad.
girl, this is not what I needed right now.
Like, girl, don't you know? Did you read why we were getting therapy?
I took the little quiz. She knows what's going on with me, and she's still up.
That is horrible.
And maybe that was part of her thing. Maybe she did that on purpose, but I unmatched with her immediately.
Experience.
Unmatched immediately.
I was gonna say,
I'm on to someone else.
The second session was going to be like, how did that make you feel?
She'll never know. She saw how it made me feel when I unmatched her. So now we're on to bigger and better things. We have a new therapist, and we'll see how that one goes. But yeah, that's what I've been up to this week. Getting absolutely bulldozed by the 75 semi hard and getting stood up by a therapist.
Nice. I think the only thing is I've been working, and then me and Danny sat down and we looked at the math, which by the way, Danny is my husband. He's basically going to be gone for the entire month of March.
Damn.
Not March, May.
Do you want to go out on St. Pat? Oh, never mind.
Yeah, it's going to be in May.
Never mind.
Literally when you're going to be leaving, he's leaving.
Yeah.
Because he has to go to Venezuela for a little bit, and then after that, he's going to the convention in Singapore. So I'm just going to be here twiddling my thumbs.
I'll be here for a minute.
You'll be here for a minute, and then you're leaving. Exactly.
But we'll save that for later. We'll talk about that when we get there. All right. I guess I'll go ahead and start with my little oot of the day, little outfit of the episode, little oot. So today's outfit is brought to you by still last week's nails. We will not be changing them. I paid way too much money, and I will hold them until they fall off. Literally, like 2 months from now, there's gonna be one nail left. I'll be like a raggedy trailer park woman with one fucking tooth left in her mouth. It's gonna be my one nail, and we're holding on.
That reminded me of childhood.
Yeah, that's where I went there. But this is a beautiful little sheer top I got from Shein. No, oh my god. I did not get it from Shein. I got it from ASOS.
Uh-huh.
Okay. This is a beautiful top that I got from ASOS. It is all the way see-through, but they don't pay me enough. And by that, we have not even posted an episode, and we do not have any income from this yet, so I will not be posting nipple pics. And then I have these just regular little dress pants because they go so well. I want to get a little bit elegant, a little bit classy, but I also want to be a little naturical today. And shout out to the TikTok page Sinister Pond Babe for teaching me all of my fun little slang I'm sure to use. But naturical is one of them. It's got these beautiful flowers on it.
What does that mean, naturical?
Naturical. Of nature.
Is that a real thing, or is that like a made-up thing?
It's their made-up phrase, and I will be stealing it.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. A little nature spring moment. I'm trying to bring the spring back. I'm trying to make it happen. This technically is supposed to tie into a pussy bow, but I'm not about it. Today, this is just going to be a cute little scarf moment, little ascot, if you will.
I was going to say, I've seen you had it tied into a bow before, I think.
Yeah.
Or is a different shirt similar?
It probably was this shirt. I've had it for
No, wait, no, it was a white one.
Oh,
Irrelevant.
that is my Austin Powers shirt. Maybe that'll
Yes.
come out. But yeah, so that's this. I have on like a little turtleneck crop tank top underneath this. Now that is from Shein. And yeah, just
The
a little
belt.
simple but still like classy put together. Just wanted to be a little like all black, but then also like a little bit artsy. Have green ring and then the evil eye ring on today to just match with the nature and the little art deco vibe. Yeah, that's about it. That's the oot today. Nothing too crazy. Just same old beautiful me.
Okay, and now I guess I have the dote. Oh, I was going to say doll of the episode, but dote doesn't sound right.
It just sounds like, it sounds a little dumb. It doesn't have the same
It
ring
doesn't
as
have the
oot.
same ring as oot.
Yeah.
Oot is something else. So anyway, we have like what I have chosen as my doll of the episode. And right here we have Night Out Erin Salston. Well, I don't need to refer to her. I'm going to have a photo going. But she's really cute. She was a doll from 2023. She has an accessory pack that you had to buy in addition for, love a good money moment. She's that girl. So
I'm sure Integrity did too.
So she has a whole accessory pack, and that's how she gets like her little bows and everything. Also, look at y'all both oh wait, you didn't tie your pussy bow. If you had, it would have been a collective bow thing. But she's really
it's a lot
cute.
of work.
But she's really cute. She's really pretty. I love her. Oh, and I just put on her suede gloves. I hadn't used them before, but they level her up and they feel so nice. Like they're very soft.
She's fucking serving. Like I could see her at a fashion show.
And I love the whole like big kind of almost Valley of the Dolls hair. Kind of. It's kind of giving that. And then the bow, like the metal bow on the top. But honestly, the like diamond rhinestone necklace situation. Oh, she's great. I love her. I've recently fallen back in love with her. She's one of my older Integrity dolls, which sounds weird because I literally got her last year. But she's one of the older ones. But recently I've really been obsessed with her.
Yeah, I like her too. She's got like this modern but like classy look to her, especially with the dress and the bow. It's very reminiscent of like 50s to 60s to me. And the gloves, absolutely like a little movie premiere back in the day. And I like it. I don't know, the hair with the little bump, but it's still like something modern and sleek.
And
I like her.
Also, like the doll last week, she's considered a moment doll, which means basically it's
she
like
is the moment.
Right, but a moment in Integrity terms is basically like a recolor. And most other things, it's like it's a recolored version of a doll that already exists. And so she has another version, and honestly, the version she's a recolor of, I love the original so much more. I have to show you a photo of it later, but it's like this cream and pastel, and the girl has like purple hair.
My whole camera just went out.
Uh-oh.
Oh, she's pretty. I like her.
So I'm now showing Kendall what she's
Wait,
a recolor
this
of.
choker.
Right. So you guys can see it. I'll have it on screen, but that's who she's a recolor of.
But
so
I mean,
that's the original.
I almost have to say it's like two different dolls. Like the dress is the same, sure,
but
like,
it is completely different dolls.
Yeah,
that doll's name
different.
I think is Lilith, and this is Aaron.
You know what this reminds me of? That butterfly doll that we saved from a hotel pool back in the day.
Okay, that doll was special for me specifically. Again, this is another version of Kaylee's dolls, but I did what I wanted with.
Yes.
Because it was a butterfly doll. Well, a fairy doll. And she had clip-on wings. And she had a purple bodysuit.
Yes.
So what I did was
we need to tell them. So we were at a Marriott.
Yeah.
It was like our dad's high school reunion or something.
It's
it was like
exactly
2008. Also, that was the first time I ever saw the Titanic. And
yeah,
honestly, that was an iconic trip.
It was an
that
iconic
trip was, yeah. She goes down in the memory books.
Mm-hmm.
So we went to the pool at this hotel, and like there's like this little vent that just kept like flapping, and it was like I guess where like the excess water kept like going into or whatever. If
Yeah, I think all pools have it.
You know, it's a pool thing. You know what it is. So there was like a doll in there.
No. You're skipping a part of the story.
Okay.
We saw this little girl and her brother, and the little girl kept sticking her hand in there and like crying. And then her mom was like, no, stop messing with it. And she left. And when she was gone, me and Kendall directly went straight to it and saw that she was trying
Little
to get
detectives.
to her doll. Like she had lost her doll inside the vent. And me and Kendall, I was like, Kendall, you hold it, I'm going to grab it. And so we worked together, and then we got her out of the vent.
Yeah. Okay. And yeah, so we rescued her from the pool.
We fully knew who the owner was. I mean, so I was just felt the need to include that. It was that little girl who was crying about her doll.
And she didn't need it.
She didn't need it. It's fine.
Didn't need it. Yeah. And then you took her home, and you literally went all out, and you made her like a face mask, and made her, what was it, like a Digimon?
Okay. Yes,
Oh
exactly. So I forget, is it called Digimon Evolutions? I forget which Digimon show it is, but it's
Girl,
the
I
one where,
barely remember Digimon.
it's the one where the children turn into the Digimon. And there was the blonde girl who turned into that giant, beautiful butterfly goddess chick, and was my favorite. I was obsessed with her. So this doll, she had like lavendery purple hair and a purple bodysuit. So then I made her like a white face mask and like some armor and everything, and made her look like, I mean, if we saw it now, we'd probably think it's really sad. But back then, I was like, wow, she looks exactly like the Digimon girl. I was obsessed with
Honestly,
that doll.
that was the birth of you and this little doll thing you have.
Yeah, it was my first time customizing. I thought she was absolute perfection. I've never even tried to figure out which doll she was. I should do that at some point. But yeah, I was obsessed with that doll so much.
And that helped with my jewelry obsession. I already had that though. But like I saw the Heart of the Ocean, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get that someday.
Exactly. What an iconic trip. We didn't even realize.
I know. Look at that trip. Really was everything.
Thanks, Dad, for your high school reunion.
Yeah.
Really shaped us.
Props to him.
Uh-huh.
Thanks for being old and surviving that long.
Uh-huh. All right. Well, are you ready to jump into our obsessions for the week?
I literally would love to literally be obsessed with literally you.
What? All right, so I guess I'll go first this week since you went first last week, and we also know what my subject is.
And I can share. Yeah.
Yes, I'm even wearing the shirt. I don't know if that's even in
Sul
frame.
Sul.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We're continuing mine. I can't believe my first one was a two-parter, but we're continuing my adventure with The Sims. And we went through Sims 1, Sims 2, iconic times for us. Beautiful
Troubling
stories.
times.
Uh-huh.
The best of times. The worst of times.
Right.
Lots of fire. Lots of child neglect. It does happen.
And nudity paintings.
Lots of them. And it does deserve to be in an art gallery.
Honestly, I feel like I need to recreate that or something. You know, just have it like framed somewhere. But now we're jumping into Sims 3. So we had a lot to say about Sims 1 and 2, but Sims 3 is really where I think we came into our own. Like, that's where we really started getting into it. So for starters, Sims 3, do you remember how we got it?
No.
Okay. It was tax season.
Hell yeah.
So we got it for tax season. Mom was like, I can get you guys a video game. And we both agreed we wanted Sims 3.
Oh, yeah.
So we got Sims 3 in the first expansion. Not the first expansion. We didn't get World Adventures. We got Get to Work with like firefighters and stuff. And Sims 3
I saw a hot TikTok of a firefighter. It was everything.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Anyway. But it right off the bat, we did not know how Sims 3 worked. Like, we were Sims 1 and Sims 2 kids.
God, yes.
And we were so confused. Because there's save files, which is same as Sims 1 and Sims 2. But the difference is Sims 3 was open world. It was life-changing.
And they need to bring it back.
They do. I mean, I really hope they do with Sims 5. We can get into that towards the end of this after Sims 4. But Sims 3 was open world, and we were used to playing the same file. Because in Sims 2, you pick your house, you play with your house, and the other people aren't affected. Like,
Yeah.
you can make relationships with them, but guess what? They're not going to age. No children are getting taken away for child neglect. You have to do all that on your own, you know?
Oh my gosh, remember the lesbian cop family I used to play in The Sims 1? It just came to me.
Yeah.
Good times.
But, yeah, that was so random. But, yeah, that's true. But in Sims 3, we decided that we were going to all live in the same town like we did every other save file. So I made my sim. Do you remember my first sim? I remember her so clearly, Kendall.
Wait, yes. Heavily inspired by Avril Lavigne, who was making her comeback at the time. This is Avril Lavigne What the Hell era.
It was.
This was that time in her life. She was blonde.
Yes.
And the game absolutely us up because it added highlights.
Oh, we were
and
up. But no.
Yes.
We need to clarify. I was a tips girly. You were a highlights girly.
And I stand beside that.
And all your people look like shredded cheese hair.
Shut the up.
I'm just saying.
It was beautiful. It was a colorful mosaic piece.
His favorite thing to do was get blonde hair and then put brown highlights in it. And it looked like spaghetti.
I was of the time. I was doing MySpace. I was of the time. I was stylish.
But I loved dyeing the tips. Like, that was my favorite thing to do.
Yes. She was blonde, and there was purple tips.
Yes, it was.
There was a white zip-up jacket with skulls all over it. 1 second. Your laptop's dying.
All right, so we saved the computer. It's no longer dying.
Yes.
You were saying she's blonde, which is true. She had a white hoodie with skulls, which is true. Also, paint splatters.
Yeah.
I was in a paint splatters craze back then. I wanted to paint splatter my bedroom.
Wait, no, you moved her into somebody's like whole ass luxury mansion and then kicked him out.
Yeah, I did. Yes, I did. It was beautiful. So her name was Lily, and she was blonde. She had the emo cut hair that went over like one eye. I could probably recreate this sim pretty easily because I have Sims 3 on my computer again with no custom content, which is how it used to be.
A travesty.
But yeah, she was my first sim. Her name was Lily, and I ended up marrying Leighton. It was beautiful. I kicked a man
That's
out of
the
his
fireman one, right?
No, he's the one who lives. It's like Leighton Sakamoto or something like that.
Do you know their names?
Sunset Valley is in my heart. Okay.
I remember there's Bella Goth.
Yes,
right?
of course, Bella Goth.
There's a woman named Cassandra.
Actually,
she's the widow.
Her name is Bella. Oh shit, I forgot her name. It's Bella something because she's not married to Mortimer yet. Remember, they went back in time in this one.
Yeah.
Mortimer is a goth, and his families are there.
There was Agnes.
Yes, Agnes Crumplebottom.
Agnes Crumplebottom. I loved her house. That was
you
where my
moved
first
into her house. Yes, you took.
I kicked her ass out.
You made a family. Oh.
What? What is going on?
Agnes's ghost is coming for you.
Sorry, Agnes. I take it back. I don't.
So you made a family, a husband and a wife, and they had a kid. And here's the sad part, because you didn't know the backstory of Agnes, but you moved in with Agnes's house, and you're like, oh, look, there's already a nursery and stuff like that. The sad story is Agnes's husband died in a fire, and they were getting ready to have a child. And you move into her house, kick her out of her house, and take over.
And if she wasn't going to use it, someone had to.
Do you know how bad that is?
Bad for her.
But yeah, there were them. Where's some more, like, the altos, you know, up at the, like, top with all the rich people.
Oh, yeah, Holly.
The stupid land grabs, you know, Nancy and stuff. Then, who else was in the Wolves. Thornton Wolf made the most beautiful children.
My man.
I know.
I loved him.
But we also know who you and I always ended up marrying. Christopher.
That's because he was easy to obtain. And we kept doing that challenge so we couldn't marry rich.
Exactly. And then, also, no. You and Hank Goddard. You had an obsession with Hank. He was the police officer in the town. Do you remember him at all?
And that's on daddy issues. No, I don't remember him.
So, we have to get into it because it's already coming up, but Sims 3 is where we started learning about, like, community challenges. And our favorite one was a legacy challenge.
Yes.
And the legacy challenge was one where you created a sim, completely broke, you move into a lot, you have to build your house and everything, you have to marry and go on for 10 generations. Did we ever successfully finish this? No, we did not.
I birthed Generation 4, and I was like, girl, I've been here for 2 years. It's so long.
Exactly. So that was the main thing we did. So, and we always chose Sunset Valley. It was just the most beautiful town. Mm-hmm. So we have a lot of memories there. But I didn't even get to like finishing the part where I was talking about us living in the same town.
Yeah.
So Sims 2, you can live in the same town. Sims 3, Kendall makes his family in my town. I made my beautiful Lily first. I move her in with the rich man, kick him out. I have my own home. Kendall makes his husband, wife, and child, moves into Agnes Crumplebottom's house, kicks Agnes out.
Yes.
So then we thought it was cool because it's an open world game. So Kendall would be going through the town and be like, hey, look, Greg, there's your sim. I'd be like, oh my gosh, there's my sim. And then I'd log back into my family and they're at the pool. And I was like, that's not where I left you. What are you doing at the pool? That's so fucking weird. And then Kendall would go back to play his and they're like, wait, I don't understand. Like, they got promoted at their job or something like that. And he's like, what's going on? Or he's like, it's almost the child's birthday. Like, I start freaking out because I find out Lily is about to be an adult. I'm like, oh no, she's about to be ancient.
Like a toddler turned into a whole child. I was like, what the f***?
And we're like, what is going on? Why is this happening? Like, why is you playing your family affecting my family?
I whole asked my 8th grade science teacher, shout out to Miss Robinson. You had her too, I think.
Oh my gosh, yes, I did.
Yeah,
I love Miss
shout
Robinson.
out to her. Mm-hmm. She was my little friend. We used to have like a reading period at the beginning of the school day. So everyone came in and just read this book. And me and her played Sims. So me and her, like, I was just trying to be friendly, like just, you know, being a little teacher's pet, doing my little thing. And I was talking with her about Sims. And I literally was like, do you have a thing where like your families just keep like aging even though you're not playing? Like, in front of my entire 8th grade class was having like Sims troubleshooting problems with my science teacher.
And the best part is you'd be like, oh yeah, because then Greg was playing his family, and we're a year apart and we had the same teacher. So she literally just had me as a student, knew who I was.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was great. But yeah.
She just told me, no, I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Exactly. Eventually I did the smart thing. I used Google and I found out if you play in an open world game, the whole world keeps growing. And at first, this traumatized us. We didn't know what we were doing. We were distraught that we couldn't play together in our same world because neither of us wanted our people to get old without us playing them. That's horrible. But ended up being probably one of the most amazing things in the world. Like, once we started our own save files, like being able to have that open world and everything, it was incredible. It was like a changing world. And I was like, okay, I know some people love Sims 2 to death, but like, it doesn't compare to Sims 3.
Yeah, Sims 3 was literally, I think, such a big background moment of like our entire middle and high school, like lives.
And since we got our internet shut off quite a bit, it was beautiful. You didn't need internet to play. It's true though.
And you know what? Sim was real. They were real for that one.
They really were.
They knew what they were doing.
But it was so beautiful. But then me and Kendall, we're creative people. And we're like, okay, the legacy challenges are cool, but honestly, Kendall always quit them. He quit them every single time. Because I was like, Kendall, let's both do one side by side. I'll do my legacy, and then you do your legacy, and let's try to keep up together. And we'd be invested. I'm talking hardcore invested in each other's legacies. Go ahead. I need to explain, like, how invested we were in each other's legacies.
No, we were. But I do want to say I fully committed. I tried my damnedest. I had a family. I made it to Generation 4. I had them. And then there's a thunderstorm. And it blew the electricity in our house and literally wiped the computer, and we didn't have like a surge protector. It was plugged into the wall. Entire safe gone.
Yeah, the computer was fried. Everything.
I dissociated. I just like, okay. I couldn't function. You know that scene in Up where Elle's like, I can't have babies, and she just sits in the yard with like the sun on her in a chair? That was me. My whole family gone from a thunderstorm.
We were both genuinely distraught, but we didn't even cry or anything. We just went blank.
Yes.
Fully blank. We had gotten so far, like, y'all need to understand how it, like, when it came time with the legacy, you have so many kids and you have to choose which one's going to be your heir to continue the legacy, and the rest of the kids move out. I would have full-on arguments with Kendall over him choosing the wrong heir in his legacy. Because I
I
love
still have
Neptune.
pictures of them in my Verizon cloud. Like I don't even know how it started backing up the photos. I fully have photos of like when I grew them up to see which one would be the prettiest before we saved it.
Because he had all these children, and they were all based off of planets. I know this family, and they were all based off of planets, and he had like 5 kids. My favorite was Saturn. She was a badass. She was so cool. And Kendall's favorite was Neptune, but he ended up not choosing Neptune because I told him you can't marry rich, and Neptune fell in love with Bella.
Yeah.
And then
They had a beautiful baby together.
he got so pissed at me when we later found out in the rules, Generation 1 can't marry rich. Generation 2 can marry rich. He was pissed.
With
He
the
was like,
bright red hair, I loved him so much.
he was like, so literally it could have been Neptune. But that's okay. He got his revenge because he chose Mercury. Mercury.
Her head.
She was something. I remember. So in Sims 3, you also have vehicles. Mercury went everywhere on a orange motorcycle. When she was delivering her babies.
She was different.
You had to ride her motorcycle to the hospital.
She's a badass, and she meant it.
So,
yeah.
And then I had my family I was super in love with. But here's the difference. When our thing got blown up, I had this one sim I was obsessed with. Like, I've never been so obsessed over a single sim ever. She was my Generation 2 heir. Her name was Faye.
Oh, my God.
And
to this day,
my obsession with her was so strong that I had emailed her file to Kendall and said, put her in your family.
like, you literally made me put her in my town.
Exactly.
I was never going to use her, but you made me
And
put
Kendall
her in your
was
town.
just like, what the wrong with you? And
were
I was just like,
obsessed.
you need to put her. But because of this obsession, guess what, guys? Faye's file was in my email. So when we got Sims back and our computer no longer fried, guess who I still had? My Generation 2 heir. Was I in Generation 4 at that point? Yes. But I started all over with Faye as the new person.
And that's the iconic one I remember from you. You started with Faye.
Yes. And that's the one that was very interesting, to say the least.
Wait, didn't Faye's mom or dad die because they're like...
The Murphy
bed.
bed, yes. So Faye's mom, her name was Addie. She went to college. She was an artist. I loved her so much. Red hair as well. Me and Kendall both started with a redheaded sim.
This is the Ariana Grande influence.
It really was.
It was.
And she went to college. I was obsessed with her. She married Travis, who is this like beautiful man with blonde hair. And they had a beautiful family. But they had a Murphy bed I stole from her college dorm. And I was like, I don't have money.
That's what you get.
And then... like, it wasn't even her grandchildren weren't even around yet, and she died to the Murphy bed. And the tragic story is I kept that Murphy bed, and it ended up killing Faye's dad when he was an elder. So the same Murphy bed killed them both. And I had this hallway of the heirs where I, like, put things that represent the heirs. Best believe that Murphy bed was in the hallway with Generation 1. But that erased it, you know? And then I restarted with the legacy. Kendall said, legacies, I'm over it.
Yeah, I had to take a break, and I did.
And then, just to let you guys know, it was not a happy ending for that legacy either. I got all the way to Generation 7. Okay, she was Generation 6 pregnant with Generation 7. Her name was November. I loved her very much. She was on her honeymoon and got pregnant at a beautiful island. And we were in Kansas, and all of a sudden, I got a virus or something on my computer, and it erased all of my sim files. It had become corrupted, and I lost the entire family. Generation
Look at all that
7.
porn.
I don't even think it was that. Because there was no internet at Grandma and Papa's in Blue Rapids at that time. I don't know what it was. I was distraught. That time I was literally on the verge of tears. Because Generation 7 of 10, I've been with that family. So that was the end of my Sims 3 legacy.
But I want to
days.
take a moment to say that I'm glad that happened because I need the people to know that we would go on vacations. It's like the middle of nowhere, Kansas. Like we'd been doing this vacation our entire childhood. The whole point was to like go out, disconnect from the world. It literally was like a small town, like 500 people. I think it grew to 1,000 by the time we were like in our 20s. And it was just small. It was remote. There was nothing to do, so everyone had to be entertained by each other. Once Greg got his laptop, we would go on this vacation and you would just sit there in the living room on your laptop, and I'm like, there is nothing for me to do. Greg, get off of your computer. Let's go to the park. Let's go seesaw. Let's go do something. Go stare at some cows. But Gray was just sitting here on his laptop, just playing Sims.
It's not my fault my virtual family was better than my physical one.
It's not, but you needed to do better.
Right. No, it was a problem, and that's when Jesus... Oh my God,
what if I manifested that virus?
You were Jesus, one of you two, because it was gone. And after that, I played no more Sims 3 Legacies. I couldn't handle it.
Mm-hmm. The loss was too much.
It really was. But that started a new era for us.
Can I also take a minute to say my little planet family that I had? I got bored of not Neptune. I love him. Their child was so beautiful. I got bored of Mercury, yes. Or
Saturn.
No, because Saturn lived in the house.
I was going to say, because Saturn's the one I wanted to be the heir. Kendall was so nice. He let Saturn stay in the house, like, as the crazy aunt.
She was like the living aunt.
He's like, she can stay living here, but she's not allowed to ever have any children.
Like the way that I appeased you for a legacy family that nobody ever saw.
But to be honest...
That never made it to daylight. That is now erased. Been dead for like 10 years.
Isn't that so sad? They're like, the only way they live on is our memory.
Yeah. But anyway... So I got bored with them. I made Saturn cheat with Mercury's husband.
Oh my God. I forgot about that.
I personally had to leave the game alone for a month because I was distraught. I did it and I was emotionally upset. I triggered myself making my Sims cheat. I did it. I literally made the husband and Saturn go off to a cliff somewhere in the middle of the lot. And made them kiss. I did it. God. It was all on me, and I was just like,
I can't believe I've just done that.
I can't believe they just did that. These whores.
He was fully upset, and he's like, I don't know what to do. Like, Mercury doesn't deserve that. Do I make them move out? Where are they gonna go? And they just had their babies.
Something was going on, girl. I had no clue.
I forgot all about that.
I literally remember being in emotional pain from making my own Sims cheat.
It was very much like, I'm bored, here's some chaos. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yes.
And in case y'all want to know how it ended, Saturn and the dad moved out, but Mercury moved on. She was strong. She was a great mother. But it was...
I did do one more legacy.
Did you?
And it was with a woman. We were past the red hair stage, and I forget her name. But she...
The artist.
She...
Blonde hair, red highlights, right?
No.
I thought it was
I don't remember what
highlights.
she was. It may have been red hair, but I may have gone for like a more natural auburn look at this time. So she had a fling with Thornton Wolf because I was like, he's hot. Like, we're like, it's happening.
But again,
I'm going to this man.
To clarify, with legacy rules, he could not marry Thornton because Thornton's the richest man in the town.
And we looked him in his 2-bit pixel eyes and him. And then I was like, well, I can't marry him. I had my fun. Like, I just spent that time building up her money.
Already.
Yeah.
Morgana.
Yeah. So then, which Morgana's a unto herself, but like, I needed Thornton. So then I marry some like some fireman, right? And he moves in. And something was wrong with me. Like, I need this therapist I've signed up for because I made them have 2 sons together and I named them after Avatar. I had Iroh and Sokka. They had 2 sons together. Then I was like, I'm bored of these sons. I hate Christopher. He's the worst. Like, literally, I'm so mad that I had to settle for this boring man. I played him. I made him boring. I just decided he was boring and settled for him. And so I made him, Didn't
he love to fish and you hated that?
Something, I don't know. Like, he's literally the color gray. So I made my sim, I forget her name, Lacey. That was her name. I made Lacey go Thornton. She was already married, so like I wasn't breaking legacy rules. She got pregnant by Thornton. And I was like, it'd be really fun for the plot is if I made her have twins. I made her eat all those watermelons because I wanted girls at this point. I was tired of the boys.
Okay, yes. Okay, you're right.
Listen to the baby radio the whole time she was painting, making her money, and made her paint stuff. And then she showed up as pregnant. Like, she just started throwing up, and I was like, I'm going to treat it like it was nothing. And then... next thing I know, she shows her baby bump, and I make her tell Christopher she's pregnant, but then I make her confess to cheating at the same time. I should write a reality show.
And that's also, honestly, those were the most beautiful children you've ever made.
And it ended up being triplets. And so I made Christopher move up, and I was like, oh, Christopher's mad. He's pissed. He's mad that he could never be Thornton. He hates her now. So he took Sokka and Iroh and moved out, which I didn't want them anyway. And I made him take the cat that we had. Cause
they had weird
because we were trying out the pets little expansion pack, and I hated them pets.
Exactly.
So
and your dad is not going to be present. He's already married to another woman.
Yeah. But I made it fair because I made him leave and they didn't make him take any of the money. So I used a cheat code. I deleted half of my funds. And then she was pregnant, had triplets.
Yes, she did.
And they were absolutely gorgeous. What was her name?
All three of them.
Azula.
No. You had the main girl, which
I had Opal. I had...
You're mixing up the things because it was... You had Ty Lee. Remember the girl who does like the chi blocking thing? You named one Ty Lee.
Yes, okay.
Who was
one.
my favorite.
Yes.
And then you had Asami.
Yes, Asami.
Who was your obsession.
Would be the heir. Oh, I'm going to tell you everything. And then there was Opal. And I made each of them have like their... Like
Opal's
they were all...
not even a character in Avatar though. Where did that come from?
Opal was from Legend of Korra. It was out at this time. Yeah, it is. Opal is the one that Bolin gets
You
with.
are so right. Oh
Girl,
my god.
that is your... Damn. You look
That's
real
my
dumb
brand.
Right
oh my gosh. Okay, go ahead.
You look so
Yeah,
dumb.
you had Ty Lee, Osama, and Opal.
So, Ty Lee, she did whatever she had to do. I wasn't
love
worried
Ty
about
Lee.
her.
She's very much Saturn. She was giving that
No,
energy.
her name was May. I named her May, not Ty Lee.
Are you sure?
Yes.
May.
Because I didn't like her. Because I didn't like May in the show. And I was like, three's too many to worry about. All I really cared about was Opal and Asami. And Asami had black hair just like Thornton. She was gorgeous. I raised them. I made all of them like do their own little thing. But I knew Asami was going to be the heiress. I knew it was her. And I made her get into singing. So like mom was a painter. She's a singer. I fully launched her a whole singing career. She earned hella money. She was out there performing for tips like the Katy Perry Showtime expansion pack. Like she was out there making her tips. I had photo shoots with her.
No.
I built sets in the backyard and had photo shoots with her.
Photos everywhere over this house. Like when you see when they make fun in a show and they'll be like, oh, there's this rich woman who's full of herself photo. Like she has paintings of herself. He had paintings in every room of Asami. Not paintings, but photos.
Yes.
Everywhere in that entire house was Asami.
And then I think I made them move to the Hollywood area that came with Showtime. And so like technically all the characters were like young again. She ended up getting with Don Lothario because in my head he was like the record executive that like saw the potential in her and helped launch her career. And I made like they still got to stay in contact with everyone from their old town, but like fully I left May behind. I left Sokka and Iroh behind. Never talked to them again. Never saw them. Once Asami got moved in, she ended up becoming like a 5-star global superstar. We were never worried about that. She was the girl. Had a recording studio in her home and everything. I actually made Opal good at singing just so they could duet on the karaoke machine together. And I do have a recording of that in the Verizon cloud as well.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Of just two women singing on their little karaoke machine. Then Asami ended up like popping out kids, and I made Opal raise them as like the live-in sister because Saturn set a precedent there, you know. And I made that happen again with Opal. I made Opal a genie at one point because I just got bored. But full circle because when I tell you I was in love with Thornton, I stand beside my man. I called him up, made him come back, and he was a vampire at this point. And I made him. And the mother, I forgot her name already.
Lacey.
I made Lacey and Thornton get married because she had retired as the heiress. It was no longer on her. And marrying Thornton, like he lived in another town, so like the money didn't really add anything. So I made Lacey and Thornton get married. And he was a vampire because I guess that was part of like the magic thing that we had added at that point. And like they were like this cute old couple and they got married in the backyard. And he was outside too long and died on their wedding day. I'm so mad.
He turned to ashes.
He literally like met his daughters, met his grandkids, fell back in love, married this woman that he finally got to be with.
And turned to ashes?
And then turned to ashes.
But to be fair, you had him fully just standing out in the sun.
I risked it. Anything for love.
Outdoor wedding, it had to be.
It did, yeah. It was beautiful. The pictures are beautiful. Yeah.
Oh,
that was a
also,
fucking telenovela of a family.
Yes.
I had so
and
much
just to
fun.
let you know, I remembered while you were talking about Asami, how much, to let people know how much Faye mattered to me. I was in college. It was like a weekend. I didn't feel like going out or anything, so I was playing The Sims. Faye died. I fully sent Kendall photos of her funeral.
Oh my god.
I threw an entire
You
funeral.
did.
I had, in the game, you could make home videos, and I had videos of her performing. She was a singer as well. I had home videos playing of her everywhere, everyone crying. It was a full funeral. I was sending Kendall. I was like, Kendall, I'm actually sad.
Yeah. You put in the pomp and the circumstance.
Oh, that sim.
And
And I still have her save file in my emails. Maybe I'll bring her back one day.
Oh, and you could make ice sculptures, and then you made a mausoleum with hers in it. And then you also stole, like, letting the sibling live in the house thing because her brother Aiden lived with her.
Yeah, her gay twin brother, Aiden.
Yes.
I made him an ice sculptor, and if you made 40 ice sculptures, which is not easy to do because you have to start the sculpting skill, be able to get to level ice, and then you have to make like 40 or 35 ice sculptures, and then your ice sculptures don't melt anymore.
The way we just had them, like, in the fucking corner grinding, because I did the same shit.
All he did. That is Aiden's entire life. Then Aiden died. Like, he literally died from, I forget what it was. He died from fire or something. No, it was really casual. Like, he just died. We had this, I don't know if you remember, but we had the Philosopher's Stone thing. I brought his ghost back from the dead. So Aiden comes back from the dead, and he gets back to making ice sculptures. I was like, I put too much time into you. For even into the afterlife, this is your job. So
sorry, you don't get a life.
Yeah, so I literally had ice sculptures of each of my...
I don't think this is the right setting. There we go.
I literally had ice sculptures of each of my heirs, which was really cool. I enjoyed that.
We put so much time into that.
Yes. And this was just our legacy. We're not going to get to Sims 4 or talking about Sims 5 future. That's going to be another episode because last thing we're going to mention... Do we even have time to mention it?
What?
Big Brother.
Oh my god. You know, I feel like we might have to cut some of our Sims 3 discussion, but we were literally obsessed with Sims. It was our life.
So we have literally been talking Sims nonstop, and we still have so much left to talk about. So we're just gonna have to like put this on the table for now. Like I cannot do 2 more weeks of only talking of Sims. I love Sims. It is an obsession of mine, but
I am gonna need some switch up.
Yeah,
we are literally obsessed, but I am gonna need a literal deadline.
I mean, I think we've proved the obsession. It's real. And like I said, the Big Brother chapter, that is a whole experience, and that's a whole episode in itself. Just the Big Brother stuff. And because Kendall, remember when we made Us and Our Friends? You guys, I promise that's a good story. You'll have to come a day. We're gonna turn back around to this at some point.
I'll never forgive you.
Okay. Things got really spicy. Me and Kendall literally got in a fight over this one. Like a huge fight over our Sim selves. It's iconic.
My stance has not changed.
So, you guys, I'm sorry, but the Sims stuff has got to stop. We'll talk The Sims 3, Big Brother, Sims 4, and future Sims 5. It's going to have to be separate parts, separate days. I've got to move on. It's too much.
It'll be a little sweet treat in the future. You don't know when it's coming, and we're just going to drop it for you, and it's going to be a good time.
Exactly. It's going to be a random drop.
And it's our...
Exactly, yeah. But I promise you, it's good stuff. We'll get there one day. But I hope you enjoyed Sims 1 to the beginning of Sims 3 for us.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I did not realize it was going to be so much. But I am ready, Kendall, to find out what you're obsessed with.
Okay. All right, Greg. So today, I want to take you on an obsession journey with me.
Okay.
A gay icon, a genius, a triple threat.
Okay.
Absolute beautiful force in the world.
Okay. Is it Beyonce?
Janelle Monae.
Ah, okay. I don't know if Beyonce...
Because I've made you listen to Beyonce. You know about Beyonce.
Yes,
but
I do.
I've never forced you to be obsessed about Janelle Monae with me.
I'll randomly get like little tidbits, but never like a full on...
Yes.
I know she slays fashion.
Absolutely. That's what I'm saying. Like I said triple threat, but it's just an infinite threat at this point. You are threatened. She exists. You are threatened.
Right.
So I first found Janelle Monae. Really, I can give you a little bit of background on her career, and then I'll make it personal. So she is from Missouri, or Kansas City, Missouri. Sorry. So Janelle's from Kansas City, Missouri, which we drove through all the time.
Been there many
Literally
times.
right there, like maybe 5 hours away from where we went every summer. 5 hours away from where our dad's born from. You know, all of the, like, so closely tied, right? So she was born in the 80s. She's in her 30s now.
Really?
She grew up poor, underprivileged, and she eventually launched her music career. And her first big like moment in the spotlight was on the horrendous, horrible song "We Are Young" with Fun. The female vocal in that song, she had a feature, and that was her kind of breakthrough into mainstream media.
First off, love that song. It's a
Absolutely
good song.
hate it. All the basic wore it out in high school.
I liked it. I mean,
because this was when Vine, Snapchat, and Instagram were starting up. Like, this is
Glee.
2011. God, Glee.
Okay, you say that. Okay, I became a huge like Glee nerd, but Kendall is the one who showed me Glee and got me into Glee.
Yes, it was a rerun one day on a Saturday, and we just sat there. Like, I do love Glee. Mm-hmm. It's a love-hate relationship.
Have you seen how problematic it is these days? It's crazy.
That's what I'm saying. A love-hate relationship. We were obsessed. So she does a feature on that song, and then she eventually releases another album called Computer Love. The music from this album is where I kind of find her in, I'd say, my senior year of high school, which was a very transformative time for me. You went to college. Our mom moved to Virginia with our now stepdad. So I had to move into our step-grandparents. And, love you, Granny. Peace up. Love her, but I moved in with her, and it was like the first time in my life I was like on my own and had to like define myself. And I was like overweight. I'm talking like
also Kaylee was next door. She just acted like you didn't exist.
Like, okay, so like our dad lived next door, but they didn't have a room in their house, so I lived next door at like my step grandma's house. And so my sister lived with my dad and stepmom. I lived literally like I could throw a rock from my window and hit their house, but next door. But Kaylee was in her like moody preteen era. All she did was sit on her little BlackBerry and watch, Teen Nick. So I was kind of on my own. I was working my little job, and this was a very transformative time. And I had been bullied for being overweight and clearly like gay, but didn't want to own it and couldn't come out yet. And then I heard the song, I Like That. And I was like, wait. And as I've gotten older, I just stand by that. Like, literally the lyrics of I'm the rhythm and the antidote. It takes a type of bitch to keep the whole world afloat. I could give a fuck if I was the only one. I like that, It really inspired me. It was a little mantra, some affirmations. And a lot of her music for me has affirmations in it, which wasn't really something I thought about or was too big on, even though mom was all into meditation and crystals and like pagan religion type stuff. I never really thought too much about it. But so that's where I kind of fell in love with her, right? Then I went to college and took like a sexuality class, and they introduced me to Pink and like her song Pink, where she literally just talks about vaginas. Like, she is such a like sexually liberating or just liberating in general person to me. I absolutely love her as an artist.
You played her a lot on our car rides because we would drive from college to our mom's house, which was 4 hours away. And when it was Kendall's turn to drive, it was a lot of Janelle Monae.
Yes. That's
Like,
saying.
that's I know that era of her so well because you played those songs so much.
That's just the way you make me feel.
Exactly.
But she paid so much tribute to like all this old music. And she also still put her twist on it. And then she served the looks and fashion, and just the lyrics hit with me. And you want to know something interesting I found out? Me and her have the same big three astrology.
Really?
Virgo rising, Sag sun, Gemini moon.
Wow.
Absolute same. She tweeted about it, and she also goes by they, them, so you can use whatever. But she tweeted about it years ago. But we literally have the same three. And I'm like, maybe that's a little bit why I'm like, I with like all of her songs and her music taste and like her career moves so much. Because she also has a whole acting career. She was in that movie Moonlight. She was in Hidden Figures. And I love a good 50s moment. She looks so good in that movie. Then she was just in Knives Out, Glass Onion, where she like played two characters in the movie.
Oh, the twin sisters.
Yes.
Oh, actually, you want to know something really interesting real quick?
What?
So the Integrity Toys convention this year is called Stilettos Out, a fashion thriller, and it's based off of Knives Out.
Oh my God.
I really don't know what that means.
Full circle.
I really don't know what that means for what to expect. But yeah, that's the theme for the convention this year.
But yeah, she was in that. And then, hold on, I want to look because I know there's another movie I'm not thinking of that she was in. She was in the movie Antebellum and Harriet. And so most recently, I'll say my obsession with her has come from her new album, Age of Pleasure. And she did a podcast with Call Her Daddy. I don't know if you know Alex Cooper. Have you ever listened to it?
I don't think so.
Okay. So she did an episode with her, and she kind of just talked about what this album was. And the whole theme of it is that she is coming into her age of pleasure and loving herself, loving other people. And she said that her dad and her had a very estranged relationship. There was a lot of tension between them. So she had this album, and she said that she like had such honest conversations with her dad once he got out of prison and he kind of came back into her life. And she, through these conversations, she was able to like heal so much of herself that she hadn't healed yet. And in doing so, I think a few years ago, she was actually like had a long-term partner, but she's now come out or has been come out as poly. And the whole album is just about her owning herself. And she's such a, to me, a force for the future. Her values and everything are like years ahead of where we're at, really. She's in poly relationships. She's been bi. She's been talked about how she's with men and women. And just the whole album is beautiful. It's like something I put on at the pool all last summer and just literally was with and just floating with. And that's actually the name of the first song is Float.
Oh, nice.
In that song, the lyrics are just kind of like, I used to walk around pretty much like the weight of the world on my shoulders, all my traumas, all of this stuff on me, and now I just float. And then one of the things was I used to walk into the room, head down, now I just float. And I was like, oh, I like that. Like, it's just one of those songs that just celebrates just letting go of that stuff, her finding herself and owning who she is. And then she has a song on there with just so many fun lyrics. And there's one called Champagne Shit. And, like, my favorite little lyric from it is I like all my kisses French when I'm on my champagne shit. And, like, the whole album, like, there's layers to it. But, like, the whole album on one thing is just about her partying and having fun and enjoying herself. And she said when she wrote the album, she spent, like, a summer in the islands and just kept recording and making songs. And then she'd bring all of her friends in and just, or, like, take them out to a club or a bar and have the DJ play her song. And if the club and her friends didn't react and dance, they scrapped it or reworked it. The entire album is meant to be like a mood. And there's one on there I think you'd really like called The Rush. And she starts it out with such poetic lyrics. And it's just, it makes me just want to be like on a cliff at like night with the moonlight on me.
That
and like
sounds like
water.
my vibe.
Yes. And the lyrics are, let your ocean come to my moon. Let our rain become the monsoon. I want the rush.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Look at exactly.
Janelle, she's doing
That's
stuff.
what I'm like. It's just the lyrics are there, the message is there on her albums. She has a whole thing, and then in her song "Float," where she's just like, "Y'all can't with me. Like I have so much to celebrate. I'm floating. I'm living my best life." There's a line that's like, "Ooh, look at my resume. So much to gloat, bitch. I float," or something like that. Oh my god. Oh, look at my resume. Find a hard reason not to gloat. Because she's literally done like fashion, she's done art, she's done music. Like she's one of the artists around today to me that like still makes and projects a whole image. Now it could be a PR team, but it feels very genuine to who she is. She's kind of seems like she's stuck to who she is and her message. And I don't know, I'm just obsessed with her. She literally has such a fun career. She has such a vibrant spirit that you can feel. She's very poetic and deep, but at the same time just so into having fun and loving yourself and pleasures. And she's not afraid to like do fashion risk and do different things all over the place. I just absolutely loved it. I like follow her on everything, love all of her posts. She's also super big into gay rights because she's poly and bi. Every year she's on a float for some pride festival. She's very big into promoting that type of stuff and speaking on gay rights, and I just love it. I just love watching her career, love seeing where she's at. And I just finding out that we had like the same 3 big astrology, I was like, yeah, that's me. That's my people.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. Like I've never done a deep dive into her. Like I knew she was queer, and I knew like there was like good music because you've played it and stuff. But I've never done deep dives. That's so interesting.
I know.
I will say also that I don't hear. I mean, okay, I'm not tapped into the mainstream as much anymore. Spotify has disconnected me. I like kind of go my own way now. I do not listen to the radio.
Your little moody indie sad stuff.
Yes, mixed in with a little bit of Taylor Swift. I can't.
And
help
your acoustic covers.
Yeah. Oh God, my acoustic covers. I love that.
Acoustic covers.
But it seems like I haven't like other than like you telling me stuff. I haven't heard of Janelle Monae. It's more like fashion and movies that I hear of now. I don't hear about the music as much anymore. So I didn't even know there was a new album. I definitely want to check out that song.
It's so good. She released it last summer. I absolutely love it. Then she has another one called Lipstick Lover, which is just like a fun little island vibe. Just her talking about how she loves women and her little lipstick lovers. And then she has another song at the end called I Only Have Eyes for Two, like 42. And it's just talking about her being poly. And
Oh, wow.
yeah. I love it. That's what it says. She's very forward thinking, very open and free and liberated, and just does whatever she wants and whatever's on her mind. And
That's amazing.
I with that hard, yeah. So that was my session.
Nice. I really like that. I definitely want to check out what'd you say it was? Rush?
The Rush, yes.
The Rush. Yeah, I want to check out that.
Not to be confused with Troye Sivan's Rush, which was also good, and they came out kind of around the same time. So they were.
I did know that one. When we went to the clubs, they were playing that a lot. But also we were going to gay clubs, so.
Yeah. And that was on us.
Exactly. But no, that sounds really cool. I actually really want to check it out. Yeah, I didn't realize, like, she's one of those artists that I'm aware of, but not fully aware of. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like I knew about them being queer. I didn't know about the poly thing. That's kind of cool. And I knew that they, like, killed fashion. I was always excited to see what the Janelle wore to the Met Gala.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, because that hat look, I still think the camp, was it the year the theme was camp and she had, like, the multiple hats, right?
I can't remember. I didn't really start paying
I need
attention
to
to
look
the
it
Met
up. I'm about
until
to sound
last
really
year.
stupid. Wait. Yeah,
Okay.
it literally was. See, this is you can see it here.
Oh,
I'll
yeah.
put a photo up. Like,
Just
one of the,
serving.
which, by the way, okay, I love the Met Gala. You and me get into it, and we love to talk about it.
We'll have to do an episode when it comes
Oh,
out.
for sure. But when the camp category came out, so many people did not understand the assignment.
You know what? That's what I'm saying.
It was so sad. It was like, okay, some of you guys were like, okay, I'm just going to wear a pretty sparkly dress. And it's like,
Right?
are you serious? But Janelle, I was like, served. There's a couple that I remember from that one that was so good. Violet Chachki, the drag queen, who wore the dress that was literally a satin glove.
Oh, yeah.
Camp.
Yeah, that was like the
Loved
year
it.
or two before I really started getting into it.
And then Janelle Monae with the hats, loved it. And then I think that was the same year Lady Gaga did like the dress that kept transforming, and she was just like sitting there like shocked and everything, and then the dress went from one thing to another thing to another thing. It was really good. It was kind of Barbie-ish.
I don't know if I remember that one.
I'd say that to you. But anyway, that was one of the most disappointing. What was it this year? I forget. It's something like Nature or something, right? They already announced this.
Eternal Garden.
Yeah, exactly. They already announced that. So I'm excited to see what that's going to be.
Yeah. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Just with Janelle Monae, there's always artistry involved.
Yes.
No matter what they've done, there's artistry involved. They're like the movie, like she transforms into the character. I almost forgot she was in Hidden Figures. Like I didn't even like register the same person. Knives Out. At that point I was fangirling. I was a stan. At that
I didn't
point.
realize that was Janelle, honestly. I watched Knives Out. I enjoyed it. So I did not
That's what I'm
realize.
saying. It's like she's one of those people that has gone unappreciated, and even still, she had her whole album that just released, and she had a whole tour, but it was on to like smaller venues. I'm so mad I didn't get to go, but like I almost love that in a way. Like I'm not even one of those people that's a hipster. I find about everything 2-3 years late, but she's still one of those people that like her fan base is of similar mind and spirit, and I don't think she's caught on to mainstream because she's so forward thinking and everything, and she. Like her concert was maybe 500, 1,000 people or something like that. I could be just talking on my ass, but it was smaller venues. She didn't even book huge venues. And it was like all the videos and all of the stuff that I saw from it was just like a small party, a celebration of queerness, differences,
I
and
can't
the age
believe
of
you
pleasure.
missed that.
It was in October, and I literally could not afford, and it was only in Charlotte. I could not make it. I was so mad. I want to go. Like, she is on my bucket list. She deserves all the flowers. And yeah, just a whole artist, obsessed. Like one of those people. I'm glad that she's not getting too much attention, that like she's starting to get too much pressure, because I just love how artistic she is and how purposeful. And also it seems like she gets to have her hand in the process of everything she does. She's at a point in her career where she's kind of getting to pick and choose, and you're really getting to see like the inside of her thought process, her feelings.
Yeah.
And I just like every time she releases something, especially Age of Pleasure for me recently too, and just for the Astrology Girls, the way everything's shifting, it's just interesting that like we have the same three. I've been recently in like coming out, getting into the Age of Pleasure, owning myself, owning my sexuality, what makes me feel good, putting more emphasis on myself. Goes back to self-love. And she's on the same and she released a whole album for it. It was my album. You have to listen to it.
Yeah, I definitely want to check it out. So I guess that's episode 2, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so the end of episode 2.
The end. We made it.
Yeah, honestly, I'm having so much fun with this.
Me too.
It's been really good, and also, I really do feel like it's just our normal conversations. We just have ring lights on us now.
Yeah, no. I mean, see half of your face now.
And we just interrupt each other a little less. Because on the phone, we are quick to interrupt each other.
And I'll do it again.
And that's the thing, also, if we ever interrupt each other, people, you need to realize we are siblings. We grew up interrupting each other. We stay interrupting each other. We will call each other out for interrupting each other. Like, literally, Kendall sometimes will be like, you I'm still going.
Exactly,
that's gonna be bleeped.
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta bleep that.
It's gonna...
Have fun bleeping that, too.
You just really want to see that section bleeped. It's so stupid.
And I'm gonna watch that back and laugh at myself. But yeah, I will be disrespectful in such a respectful way to you.
Exactly. So, like, it's never disrespectful to each other, and I promise you, if it is, the other one will throw it right back. We're fine.
But you guys can choose favorites.
Yeah, you can. I mean, it's a little problematic.
Oh my God. Do you remember when I used to ask people to do that
That's
in childhood?
exactly why I was
Maybe
saying.
that's where it's... Okay, don't choose favorites. You love us both the same.
Exactly. It's a package.
I just told you guys I was in therapy. Don't choose favorites. Wipe it.
Yeah. Well, we could tell that story another day. When you've made through therapy, you feel stronger, you know? Because that one's a deep cut.
That is a deep cut. That'll be a fun one.
Obsession, childhood trauma.
That could be in the entire, like, it could be an entire
Season
season of episodes. An entire season.
I mean, at this point, Sims looks like it's going to be its own season.
You could.
That's why I had to shut it down.
You have a gaming channel. This is your time to plug it. They can go see you play Sims in your element.
If you guys want to... Oh, yeah, we need to do all that stuff. So I guess that's what we'll do now. If you guys have any interest, we still haven't done it yet. But down in the description, you'll see that we have all of our socials, like the Instagram and stuff like that. And then I also have a YouTube channel. It's called Greg's Corner. And that's where I like to do stuff with my dog collection. I also do Sims videos. Right now,
I just got it. It's your little corner. Oh.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm glad you caught up. I'm glad someone gets it. You know, that makes me feel nice.
And I made everyone else get it now, too. You guys, there's a theme.
And then I'm also doing a Sims series right now. It's actually a legacy, like we talked about in this video today. I'm doing a Sims 4 legacy, but it's a Barbie legacy. So it's like each generation's a different Barbie. I'm having a lot of fun with that. So, yeah, I guess that's it. Do you have anything you want to plug?
I mean, you can do my
Janelle Monae.
Instagram. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to plug Janelle Monae. Go follow her, listen to her music. I guess, you know, follow me on Instagram. It'll be on the screen now if you want, at @itsme_Kendall G. Honestly, most of the shit that I'm up to is off screen. We're, you know, fighting demons and throwing off screen. That's what I'm up to. I should get better about social media posting. I don't like to post.
It's okay. You're going to have to with this stuff. With this podcast, you'll learn so much.
Yeah. Yeah. This is a trial run for me. You've been on this for a minute. I'm not, but I'm excited. But yeah. Well, I guess that's all I have to say.
Same here. So
yeah, I'll talk to you
see you
later.
later. Bye.